Today we are solving multi-step equations. When we have multiple step equations, it's important that we go in this order. Step 1 is to distribute if you have a number in front of parentheses. Then we combine like terms. So to be like terms, remember they have to be same variable, and they also have to be on the same side of the equal sign. And then if you have a variable on both sides, we want to get the variable to one side. So you will either add or subtract a term to get rid of it from one side. Then once we've simplified one side or both sides of the equation, then we work on getting that one variable alone. So we will add or subtract, and then we'll multiply or divide. And last step is to verify. So that's when we substitute that back into the original equation and see if it makes the equation true. For number 1, we don't have parentheses, so we don't need to distribute. So we'll just go down the line, but we do need to combine like terms because we have 3x minus 8x, and they are on the same side of the equal sign. So when I combine 3x minus 8x, just subtract their coefficients. 3 minus 8 gives us negative 5 and keep the variable part. Okay, we'll bring down our plus 1 equals 16. Now I have just one variable and I want to get that alone. So I look at what's with it. It's multiplied by negative 5 and we're adding 1. So to get rid of this adding 1, I would subtract 1 from both sides. So that gives us negative 5x equals 15. X is multiplied by negative 5. When there's nothing between the number and the variable, that means multiplication. The inverse operation of multiplication is division. So I would divide both sides by negative 5. That gives us x equals negative 3. Now verifying, I go back up to my original equation, and at both places where there's an x, I replace those with negative 3. 3 times negative 3 gives us negative 9, and then minus 8 times negative 3, so it's like a negative times a negative, gives us positive 24, and then adding negative 9 plus 24 gives us 15. 15 plus 1 gives us 16. So we did get a true statement, and that verifies our solution. Number 2, we need to combine like terms. 8x and minus 5x combine to give us 3x. 13 and minus 20, they're on the same side, so we combine them to get negative 7. To isolate x, I would add 7 to both sides and then divide by 3. To verify, we go back to the original statement, and we're going to replace the x's with 5. That gives us 40 plus 13 minus 25 minus 20. Adding those all up, we get 8 equals 8. In number 3, we do have the parentheses with a number in front. That means we need to distribute. So distributing the 6, multiplying each term inside the parentheses by 6, gives us negative 18x plus 18 equals negative 126. So to isolate x now, we would subtract 18. Then divide both sides by negative 18. And we get x equals 8. In number 4, we're going to distribute negative 2. So it's very important that when you distribute, you pay attention that it's a negative number you're distributing. So negative 2 times 7 would give us negative 14. Then negative 2 times negative 5x, we're taking a negative times a negative, which gives us positive 10x. Now to isolate x here, it's multiplied by 10, and then we're adding negative 14. So in other words, we're subtracting 14. So the inverse operation would be to add. So this minus 14 plus 14 will cancel each other out. And whatever we do to one side, we must do to the other side. So over here, negative 94 plus 14 would give us negative 80. And then lastly, divide both sides by 10, where we get x equals negative 8. In number 5, we'll distribute negative 5. So negative 5 times 3x will give us negative 15x. And then negative 5 times negative 4 gives us plus 20. So remember to distribute that negative along with it. We stop distributing when we see this end parenthesis. So I'm just going to bring down that minus 1. Now I can combine like terms because 20 minus 1 are constants that are on the same side. So we combine them. And then we will get x by itself by subtracting 19 from both sides. So that gives us negative 15x equals 90. Divide both sides by negative 15, and we get x equals negative 6. In number 6, we need to distribute this negative 6 that's in front of the parentheses. So that would give us, when we take negative 6 times 7x, we get negative 42x, and then negative 6 times negative 8 gives us plus 48. Negative x and minus 42x, they are on the same side, the exact same variable, so we need to combine like terms. Negative x minus 42x gives us negative 43x. So next, to isolate x, I would subtract 48 from both sides and then divide both sides by negative 43.